Yes, sir. I'm going home. I guess you think I'm pretty lucky getting back so soon. Well, I think so too, but I'm not going to apologize. I had a low number coming in. I've been thinking about a lot of things tonight. I was thinking about how much a guy can learn in 4 years. I'm not the same guy that left home 4 years ago. I feel like a bigger guy. I feel that I'm coming back to a bigger kind of home. And that's a pretty good feeling. It's funny, guy kind of mopes his way through life. He thinks he's living and he's really sleeping. And then all of a sudden, something happens to him. Like going into the army and fighting a war, maybe. And he wakes up. He begins to see things. He begins to hear things. I never used to shoot my mouth off. That's what this damn penny's done for me. Was 4 years ago, next month I found it. They used to call me Mister in those days. I guess I was the average, kind of a slap-happy guy. You know, the kind that's got everything and doesn't know what he's got. Yeah. I was the all-American jerk. He doesn't even know what he got up for. Now he knows. See how happy he is? Why should he be happy? His country wants him to fight. Fight for big words like democracy, freedom, liberty. Hell, he doesn't even know what they mean. He's got a job, he's got a girl, he's got a mother, he's got friends. What are they dragging him off at 6 o'clock in the morning for? This is the kind of a morning and the kind of a day that makes a man feel lonely. Sure, there's a war going on somewhere. Millions of people are being killed or starved or tortured. That's tough, but that's far away. Europe, Asia, China. Those people don't really mean anything to him. That's how we began, that Penny and me. I figured if I hadn't gone back to pick it up, that truck would have hit me. We must all be from the same part of town, same draft board. But outside of Mike Simmons over there, the rest of the guys are strangers. Guys from my own neighborhood. But I don't really know any of them. Heads. 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 tails. That's me, third from the left. You know, a thing like this makes you stop thinking you're so different from everybody else. "1918. Hey, that's the year I was born. Maybe that's good luck. Let's see what else is on a penny. Lincoln. A man with a beard. Reminds me of that statue we saw on the trip to Washington when we were kids in school. It was a whopper of a statue. Miss Anderson said Lincoln was the savior of our country, but he was just a hell of a big statue to me. Liberty. Well, that's another statue. E pluribus unum. Oh, yeah, that's Latin. Dead language. United States of America.
Oregon is bounded on the south by California, on the north by Washington, on the east by Idaho.
That's right. The United States was a map. Different colors for the states, and crooked lines for the rivers. That was the United States of America. Wonder what those things are on the side. Looks like a couple of leaves or feathers, maybe.
Get moving, bud. You're in the Army.
I was in the Army, all right, and I didn't like it. To me, it was just drill and march and KP and more drill. They tried to tell us what we were fighting for, but that was just words to me. And then we marched some more.
Coming in! Ho! All right, men. All out on either side of the road. Watch the smoking. Fire!
Oh, my feet. They're killing me.
Yeah, mine too.
Why do they have to march us all over the state? I know how to walk.
I suppose if we're gonna do some fighting, we might as well get in shape for it.
I wonder when we'll get to the top of this mountain.
This isn't a mountain, it's a hill.
Yeah, what makes you think so?
I've seen a mountain. Yeah, this is one hell of a country, isn't it?
Huh?
You know, the other day a guy asked me what I was fighting for, and I wanted to laugh right in his face. What's that, a lucky penny?
Yeah, it's just a regular penny. It's got the year I was born on it.
Yeah, 1918. Yeah, it's got a lot of other things on it, too. Hell, it's got everything on it. It's got America on it.
Say, when this guy asked you what you were fighting for, the one you laughed at, what did you tell him? What do you say to a guy like that?
Just tell him to take a good look at this penny.
You mean those words on it?
No, not just the words. Tell him to find out what they mean. What they really mean. So they're not just words anymore.
You know, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Quiet!
When you understand what's on that penny, you'll know America. When you know America, you'll know what you're fighting for.
I was pretty sure that dog-face was crazy. But some of the things he said kept bothering me. He sure loved this country, but how can a guy love America, except in a song or a speech? You can't fall in love with a map. Then our outfit started to move around that map. We really saw America. And I got to know fellas from all over the country, from the north, south, east, and west. We trained together, ate together, griped together, drank together. Oregon became Joe Higgins. And Washington, which bounded it on the north, became Sam Collins. And Illinois was George Franklin. And Alabama was Henry Baxter. And then America wasn't a map anymore. It was a real country made up of real people and real people's homes. I remember the night the convoy pulled away from this country on the way over. I suddenly realized I was leaving my country, and I was lonesome for it. Maybe that's what that dog face was talking about. And maybe he wasn't so crazy.
Now, if you don't like that stout, I can get you some beer.
No, no thanks. How much is it?
That'll be sixpence.
This is my first day in London. I'm not sure about the money yet.
Oh. Well, this is sixpence. This is an American penny, isn't it?
Yeah, I carried it around with me as a lucky piece.
Yeah, I never seen one of these before. It's a good picture of Mr. Lincoln.
Yeah, I guess so.
You Americans are great believers in luck, aren't you? Well, we English are too, for that matter. I was talking to my son the other night. He's out of the war now. He lost the sight of his eyes in Africa. And he was saying how lucky we are to have Mr. Churchill. When he speaks, now this is what my boy says. It's Shakespeare speaking, and Milton, and Nelson, and Disraeli, and all the great poets and statesmen and soldiers in English history. And so if Mr. Churchill seems a little grand and eloquent and proud, it's because we've got a grand and proud history. My son's a great talker. Now, will you have a glass of beer with me?
Sure, thanks. Come to think of it, we've got a pretty good history ourselves. Guys like Washington, Lincoln, Jefferson. Lots of people. Mark Twain, Will Rogers. I can't think of them all right now, but we've had some pretty fine men, too.
Yes, you've had some of the finest.
Here I've been carrying a picture of Lincoln around with me in my pocket, and I forgot that my own grandfather saw him. That he was a real live man, like your Mr. Churchill. A house divided, Grandpa used to say when Sis and I'd get in a fight.
A house divided against itself cannot stand.
Yeah, how did you know that?
Why, a man like Abe Lincoln belongs to the whole world.
That's what Grandpa used to say. Only he thought that Lincoln belonged especially to him, like he was a relative or an ancestor or something.
Father Abraham.
I guess it's the same way you feel about Mr. Churchill and Mr. Shakespeare and the rest. Like they belong to you.
Yes, and they do belong to me, too. They're as much a part of England as this pub.
It's funny, isn't it? How a war starts a guy thinking.
A man never knows what's his, what really belongs to him, until someone tries to take it away from him.
This was his pub. This was their church, their library, their city, their country.
We here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain. Mr. Lincoln said that. How does the rest of it go?
I used to know. I guess I've forgotten.
Great words. Great words.
It took me a long time to remember the rest of that speech. It was over a year before we got to Italy. This was one of his cities. All of a sudden, for no reason, my mind went back to Lincoln. Some jump, Mussolini to Lincoln. And then I remembered the rest of what he said. That this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Of the people, by the people, for the people, from the people, without the people, against the people. That guy Lincoln grows on you. On the beach at Anzio, I forgot to duck, and I got hit in the arm with a hunk of shrapnel.
Hurt, soldier?
No, sir. I didn't know a surgeon could be left-handed.
Did you ever see a pitcher named Lefty Grove?
Yes, sir. I saw him walk 3 men in a row one time.
Well, I'll try and do better than that.
Say, Major,
Yes?
what does e pluribus unum mean?
E pluribus unum? That's Latin.
Yeah, but what does it mean?
Well, it means out of many, one.
One what?
Well, one nation, one people.
Out of many people?
Well, sure. Our country's made up of many kinds of people, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
People from many different countries, different religions, different colored skins. Even left-handed people. E pluribus unum. Haven't thought of that in years. Out of many, one. That's where we get our strength. There's a scientific reason for it, too. Like these instruments here. They're not pure steel, they're an alloy. A mixture of different metals. That's why they're strong and sharp. It's the same with America. All these people have helped make the country freer and stronger. And America has made each of them freer and stronger. That's it, all right. That's the American idea. We give our best, each of us. We get back the best that everybody has to offer. That's freedom and democracy. That's what e pluribus unum means.
E pluribus unum. Not a bad idea. I got sent back to the rear for a couple of weeks' rest. We stopped at a Heine prison camp one day, and I picked up a Frenchman. His outfit was on our left at Casino.
They look much different than the day they marched into Paris. Then they were arrogant, unconquerable.
These guys don't look like supermen to me. Were you in Paris when they came?
Yes, I was there. They put me in a concentration camp. We tried to get out, 6 of us. two of us made it.
Where'd you go?
I joined the underground.
Gee, that must have been pretty rugged. You know, I mean, hard. What'd you do in the underground?
Oh, bridges, factories, things like that. Once a German troop train.
You guys really got around.
But I like better to fight like this in the open with the French army, with other men. A man does not feel so lonely. He feels more free.
Free in the army?
You have never been in a concentration camp. There you eat the Nazis' bread and do his work in safety. And that is slavery. But to fight and go hungry and destroy the Nazi, that is freedom. Liberty.
When we were kids, we never thought much about freedom and liberty. Maybe it's because we had so much of it.
They killed my wife.
You'll get even with them. We'll be in Rome in a couple of weeks.
No, for that I can never get even.
Well, what are you gonna do after this is over?
After the war? I don't know.
What would you like to do?
Well, first I will visit the grave of my wife.
Sure.
And then I think I would like to vote again.
Vote?
Well, that is the test, is it not? That is how I will know
No, what?
that I am free. I have fought for a long time. And I want to know for sure that I will have the freedom I have been fighting for. And when a man can vote, when men can vote together and decide how they shall live together, why then they are free.
I could have voted the last time, and I didn't do it.
Oh, that is too bad. Many men have died for what you throw away. When free men vote together, there is nothing they cannot do. I remember before the war, I used to go to a little cafe in Paris. It was called Café de Dumago. Someday I shall sit there again with my friends, and we will talk about France and what is good for France. Oh, we will not always agree, of course, and we will argue, but that is good. And if I get a little drunk and talk too loud and pound on the table, I will not be arrested for it. Because no matter what I say, I will be talking about my country. And my country will be free. Yes, I want to vote again.
Hey. Hey. I picked this up in the last town. You want a piece?
Yeah.
It's Italian bread, but it's not bad. Hey, what are you looking at? There's nothing out in that field.
Not anymore. This yours?
If that's a 1918 penny, it's mine. It's got a couple of feathers worn out in the back.
You don't have to identify it. Besides, those aren't feathers. They're 2 heads of wheat.
Wheat? How do you know?
I'm a farmer.
Wonder what they put wheat on a penny for.
Oh, maybe because wheat is bread. Bread's what people eat. People all over the world. This used to be a wheat field. Might have been pretty good, too, if they'd rotated the crops once in a while.
And I thought these things were a couple of feathers.
Wheat on a penny? Hell, that's what I'm fighting for.
For wheat?
Yeah, in a way. People all over the world raise wheat. We're fighting for them. They're fighting for us. You know, I never used to think much about those other people. English, French, Russian, and Chinese. They weren't ordinary folks like us. They were different, kind of. And then I read. I saw pictures how the Russian and Chinese scorched the earth. Why, they even killed their livestock so the Nazis and Japs couldn't use them. Well, I'm a farmer. All of my family is farmers. I thought about them killing their livestock and burning their crops. Takes something pretty bad to make a farmer do that. When a farmer fights for something bigger than his crops, brother, he's fighting for something big. I figured it must be their freedom they're fighting for. They're on our team, so they're fighting for our freedom, too. Maybe they burned their wheat so we wouldn't have to burn ours. Couple of feathers, huh? Come on out and visit us sometime in Nebraska. Make it in the fall when the wheat's ripe. We got 1,000 acres out there and it looks like pure gold. Only it's better than gold. It's bread.
That was Hank Barlow, and he died 2 days later. A German sniper got him in a wheat field. It was 3 weeks later that our guys took Rome, but I wasn't with them. I was pulled out and sent back to England. Everybody said that this was going to be the big push, the invasion. It sure looked like it. It felt like it, too. And when the time came, they didn't even have to tell us. There's some stuff you don't get unless you're going places. You don't get French money either. It makes you feel like you really want to pray. In God we trust. In God all of us trusted. An Episcopalian from Oregon. A Jewish boy from Iowa. A Catholic from New Jersey. A white man from Chicago. And a Negro from South Carolina. This was one army out of one nation. Out of 48 states. Out of many peoples and many colors and many religions. This was E pluribus unum, all right. We trusted in God, and we trusted in each other. We trusted in each other because we needed each other. And when you looked around and saw the other guys, you knew that nobody could lick us. We were strong because we were free and equal, and we were together. That's what democracy means. That's what was on the penny. That's what we were fighting for. This was the Army of Liberation. And what an army. Guy was right. When you know America, you know what you're fighting for.
Okay, men. Over the side.
I'm going home. It'll be swell to see my girl, my mother, my house. But that's not all I'm going back to. It took me a long time to discover America. Longer than it took Columbus, I guess, and I had to make a long trip too. I found out that it belongs to me. It belongs to me and you and all the rest of the people back home. We licked the Nazis together, and we're going to lick the future together. That's the thing you learn in the Army, that a bunch of guys can do anything if they work together. That's the way democracy works, and that's why democracy works. I know what that Frenchman was talking about now. I want to vote too. I want to go back and help run our country, and that's a big job. It's a job that'll take 130 million of us all working hard. You see, I want to make damn sure that we don't lose the things that I've been fighting for and learning about. Because we've really got something, brother. I found that out. And I want to hang on to it. Together, we killed the Nazi idea. Well, together we're going to keep on building the American idea. We're going to make sure we've got a place where free kids can grow up into free men, where every man is free and strong and equal, and where everything is run according to Lincoln. That this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. That was Lincoln's America, and it's my America, and it's your America. How about it, soldier? A penny for your thoughts.